Cheapskaters. I'm Kath Armstrong, creator of the Cheapskates Club, where our goal is to live life debt-free, cashed up and laughing. If this is your first time visiting our channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy tonight's show. And if it's not, welcome back. If you're not already subscribed to our channel, could you please do me a favour and hit that subscribe button? It would really help our channel to grow. It only takes a second, just go click, and all it does is ensure that you'll never miss a Cheapskates Club video. If you click the little bell next to it, you can select how often you want to be notified of new videos on our channel, and you can be amongst the first in the world. I absolutely love saying that because we get viewers from all over the world to watch our videos, and it's free. Guys, I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas, however, wherever you celebrated. I've been thinking of our friends in the USA and Canada and praying you are all able to stay warm and out of that wind, and that you haven't been hit by any ice storms. I know we have a couple of viewers in Canada that have had ice storms over the Christmas weekend, and I can tell you some of those temperatures have been scary, or scary for me as an Australian. Well, did you have a nice Christmas? Because we did. We had a really lovely day. We spent it with loved ones, and I was absolutely shocked to find us still sitting at the table at 5 p.m. We had been there for 4 hours. We weren't eating all that time, of course, thank goodness. We're just chatting and catching up and, talking. And the time just flew by so quickly. So that was our day. How was yours? Let me pop over and see. Here we go. Oh, I can do this and I can read. Now, we've got lots of people here already. Thank you so much. Hello, Barb. Oh, gosh, what have I done? Got to stop clicking buttons, people. Oh, lots of comments. Okay, yes, Barb, we're all well. Thank you very, very much. And, yes, we had a lovely Christmas. I hope you did too. Lacey Dog has been feeling the heat the last couple of days. Hello, Annabelle. Hello, Mary. Well, there was always going to be a show tonight. It was probably just not going to be live, but I decided sometime in the middle of the night that, you know what, blow it. It's too hot to do anything else, so we'll just do a live show. So I posted a little thing on Cheapskates Chatter, and, of course, sent out a regular email. All right. Hello, Jenny. Hello, Kylie. Well done on making it from Brisbane to Adelaide, especially over Christmas. Goodness. Hi, Maureen. Hello, Joy. I'm not coping with the heat, and yes, we finished off the last of the leftovers for dinner tonight. Hello, Michelle. Hi, Wendy. Hello, Sylvia. And Mrs. Delegath, Tegan. Hello, Tanya. How are you? I have been thinking of you. And Linda. Okay. Catnaps. Hello, Evelyn. Hello, Jane. Hope you're feeling better. Hello, Michelle. All right. Oh, Mary, I'm glad you like the Christmas menus. We're very dull and boring. We do pretty much the same thing year after year after year. It works. Everybody likes it. Hello, Cassandra and Colleen and Utah. I saw that Joy about the best Christmas present. Miss Cupcake. And Kim from the UK, I hope it's not too cold. Alrighty. So I have notes, and I have some notes up there on the screen next to me. I have some notes down here, and I'm surrounded by stuff. I'm on the kitchen table because my work table in the craft room wouldn't hold it all, or what I want to show you. So I'm sort of going to wing it a bit. I got my notes here so that I can see what I'm hoping to tell you in case I forget, because it's really hot and it's Christmas and I'm sort of on holidays. But anyway, let's get started because there's a few things to show you. Alrighty, now let me just click over here. I can say that our Handmade Christmas was a huge success. Well, okay, I think it was a huge success. I did end up buying 3 more small gifts, so that made 5 in total, and they were things I couldn't make. Now, the gifts I bought were little jeweler's tool sets, you know, the really tiny screwdrivers and stuff, and they were very inexpensive from Bunnings. So all up, I bought 5 gifts, and they were all things that I simply couldn't make myself. Now, as well as the little tool sets, there was a whiz-bang fancy computer-operated, LED, insulated, exhausted spray booth, and a rechargeable garden blower. Now, I didn't have a hope of making any of those. Good news, they were all under my budget. And the blower was actually on sale, so that was even a bonus. Now, what did I make? Well, of course, it's not me if I don't make dishcloths and kitchen towels. They seem to be my standby staple. Now, you've seen them before, but if you haven't, this is what they look like. Nothing fancy, but just cotton dishcloths. And I'm fussy about the cotton I use for my dishcloths, and I use the Bernat Handicrafter, which is really hard to get in Australia, although American Yarns here in Melbourne do stock it and sell it at a fair price for considering it has to come from Canada and the exchange rate. The price we pay is a fair price. They don't mark it up a huge lot. So I made gazillions of these. Now, these are the ones for Hannah and I, because every year I make 7 new dishcloths for me, and now she's in her house. She'd like 7 new dishcloths too. I just like to start the new year off with new dishcloths and move the ones from the kitchen go into the laundry. They're really nice and thick. I love these. They're so simple to knit. Anyone can knit them, and you don't need to use the yarn that I use. You can use any knitting cotton, but I like this one because it comes in pretty colours, but also because it's nice and thick and it is really, really strong. So this is my new favourite. It's pretty green and grey. It's my new favourite. So I've made heaps of those for Christmas. Earlier in the year, I think I showed you I was working on round dishcloths. I made heaps and heaps of these too, just for something different. Now, these are crocheted, and these are my first attempts. They are not overly good because I am not a very good crocheter, but they did get better. The more I made them, the more I practiced, the better I got at them. So I made heaps and heaps and heaps of dishcloths. Along with the dishcloths, where did I put them? I also made, there we go, here's one, scrubbies. I got some scrubby yarn, which is a combination of cotton and some sort of scrubby stuff. So there, and it sort of goes matches with that. And I did give those as sets. Now, I've used these scrubbies, and they are really good on, sometimes if you've had egg, and it hasn't been rinsed off straight away and it sets hard on the plate and you've got to chip it off, they're really good for stuff like that. I certainly wouldn't try them on a burnt fry pan or anything, but they're really good for that sort of gentle scrubbing that you need to do. So I made heaps of those. There's a blue one. Oops, got the light. Blue one. Here's an orangey one that goes with, I think there's an orangey. There should be an orangey. No, it's not here. There's an orangey sort of patterned dishcloth that goes with those. They are really good. I have a whole heap of friends and family members who just like practical gifts. And I guess it's because we're all at a point in our life where we don't really need anything. And our wants are probably pretty much met anyway. And I know I absolutely love anything practical. I can tell you now that Wayne bought me a cultivator for Christmas, a rechargeable one that I can actually move around and use and lift and do the garden with myself. They will tell you, it's a wonder you didn't hear me. I was clapping. I was so excited. I like practical gifts. So dishcloths and dish scrubbies were a lot of the handmade Christmas. Now, tea towels. Someone was asking about tea towels. They just walked past my window. Must have been Wayne. So I've got the kitchen. I'm in the meals area of our kitchen, and just out of the corner of my eye, I saw someone walk past the window. Okay. What have I done? No, come on. Are scrubbies any good for cleaning the shower? I guess so. I just use miracle spray on a cloth to clean the shower, but our shower is rinsed and then dried after every time it's used. I've taught the kids to splash their soap scum off and then use the bath mat after they've dried themselves. They just use the bath mat to wipe over the screen and then the tiles and then the floor, and then they hang the bath mat up to dry. I don't have to scrub out our shower. I never scrub. The kids' shower I scrub probably once a month, just because I don't clean it myself personally every day. Tanya, it got to 42 today here too. It was awful. Tegan, yes, I do sell my tea towels. I do sell my tea towels. I'll talk more about that in a minute. Alrighty, now, where did we get up to? Stop. All right, these are the tea towels. There we go, hanging tea towels. This one I used the embroidery machine to do a flower on it. This one's just plain and a pretty fabric, and I used a bit of bling in the button because that was pretty. This one, Jane is going to get a laugh out of this. Jane posted on, I think, Tuesday Afternoon Club and on Cheapskates that she made new hanging kitchen towels, and they were super simple. Ta-da! I've had these tea towels and this pot holder and a couple of others in my stash for donkey's years. And I have made them like this in the past, and I don't know why I stopped. Actually, I do know I stopped. The pot holders got too expensive. But being handmade Christmas and only using stuff that I already had, and that was pretty much most things. There's only a couple of things I had to buy, but pretty much most of the stuff that I've made was using up what was in my stash. Jane, are you proud of me? I got the embroidery machine out and I tried my hardest to make a flower that looked passable. I'm still not very good on that embroidery machine. But these ones, I love these. So these were all gifted, or tea towels similar to this were all gifted. Some of them went on their own. Some of them went with dishcloths. Some of them were in 2 packs, depending on who it was going to and what it was for. Thank you, my embroidery. Thank you, my embroidery. It's the machine, all the machine, not me. Okay, now, oh, here you go. I've got it here. 27 dishcloths and 15 kitchen towels. Some were paired up, some were done in sets. And I'm pretty sure everyone who got one, I hope so, everyone who got one was pleased and happy with it. Now, I have pot holders to show you. Super, super simple pot holders. And poor AJ was just about, you know, every time he saw me making a pot holder, he'd go, these for us, because our kitchen pot holders are appalling. But it's a bit like the builder whose house is never finished. I don't have time to make pot holders for my kitchen. I am making some. I'll get some done this week. So I did little pot holders like this. Now, I love these pot holders. They're nice and thick. They're a good size for my hand. And there is no binding on them. So they are super simple to make. Now, I have a tutorial coming up on how to make these and another similar type with no binding that I absolutely love too. So I did them, whatever bits of fabric I had is what I did. Some of them I did, like this pretty blue one, I actually paired with a wooden spoon. You see, is that better? That I painted and decoupaged, and I did those up as a set just because I actually quite like pretty wooden spoons, or I've got some pretty silicone spoons and some pretty wooden spoons just sitting in amongst the utensils on my kitchen bench. So I did those. So another type I did was this pretty pink one, similar to this. Just painted it up and decoupaged the bowl. Now, you can't use them, obviously. They're not going to be stirring the fruitcake or anything, but they do look pretty. And the 2 friends who received these both messaged me and loved them, especially the spoon. So, look, they cost about $1.50 to make. The most expensive part, of course, was the wooden spoon. I hunted high and low for cheap ones. I already had the chalk paint. The chalk paint I use is just from Kmart. Kmart sell tubs, and I think they've got white, pink, green, blue, and a salmony, rusty red colour. 500ml tubs. Really, really cheap. Really, really cheap. Very inexpensive. And I've been using the white one. I've been using for 2.5 years, and it goes a long way. A little chalk paint goes a long way, and I just like the finish of the chalk paint. So there's those. There was those. Oh, yeah. And they cost about $8 each to buy. We were in TK Maxx before Christmas. $7.95 for a decorated spoon. So if you like to give pretty things that aren't really practical but are pretty, that's something to think of. And I will be showing you how to make those later in the year too. So I actually really enjoyed making them. I had a lot of fun doing those. Now, this is really funny. When we saw Wendy just before Christmas, I'm just going to have a drink. I made iced coffee just before we started with the decaf syrup. Did you see that video where we made the coffee syrup? And Wendy was talking about candles, and I went, wow, we've been making candles too. And as it turned out, I've done all sorts of different candles through the year. Now, I don't have any left because I sent them all out, but I have a stack of these little tins, just little, and I'm not sure whether they came from Amazon or AliExpress, but they were like 20 cents each. They were really, really inexpensive. And I think they're 4 ounce, 125 mil. So I made little candles in those, and I made lavender and eucalyptus. Now I got the idea for the lavender and eucalyptus from Mary from White Cottage Company. Now she has a YouTube channel, she has an Etsy shop, but she was talking when I was watching her one day, and she was talking about this lavender and eucalyptus candle. I love lavender, I love eucalyptus. That's very Australian. That is really Australian, lavender and eucalyptus. I thought, whoa. So I made lavender and eucalyptus. They smell amazing, absolutely amazing. Now I used the soy wax to make them, just because that's what I had. But they smelled amazing. And all I did was this little, in here, I made little round stickers that just said lavender and eucalyptus, and I put a little lavender sprig and some gum leaves on either side of it. And they looked really, really cute. And I made 10 of those to go out. Really cute little things. I also made, having a brilliant idea one day, sitting here, and I decided to do teacup candles. Now I've done teacup candles in the past for different things, Mother's Day stalls and all sorts of stuff. And I Wendy, in the craft section, Wendy wants to know, why isn't this working? Okay. Wendy wants to know what section the chalk paint is in Kmart. Craft section, with all the acrylics and things like that, but down, well, in our Kmart, down the bottom shelf. In tubs, white tubs. It's in the craft room. Yeah, very inexpensive, and it's really nice. It's actually really nice. I've got recipes for making chalk paint myself, but this stuff's so cheap that I really don't bother. Yeah, but in the craft section, they do sell bigger tubs of it, where they have all the fake flowers and the fake tiles and all that sort of stuff. But the little ones are more than enough. I've got pink, white, pink, blue, on green. I've got 4 colors, and I've been using them for well over 2.5 years, because the little goes a long way. Yeah, let me know if you can't find them, because our Kmart does have them. Alrighty. So back to candles. I was thinking about something a bit different, and I decided to do teacup candles, but then I wanted to do something different again, so I decided to do citronella teacup candles to use outside. Now, there we go. This is one cup and saucer. This is one that's not made. It's one that started. This one will be for someone else. I did 4 of them for gifts this year. Citronella candles. They are really nice to burn outside. If you're sitting outside, use the citronella candle. This is just a prettier way to do it. And if you've got a really nice outdoor setting, you don't want a big, ugly bucket of candles sitting in the middle of your table. So teacup candles, but make them a little different. Just try citronella ones. Now I used a combination to stick the cup to the saucer. I used a combination of hot glue and E6000 that I got from Spotlight. Pretty sure it came from Spotlight. It's I nearly choked on the price. It was about $8 for the tube, but a little goes a long way. So it will last a long, long time. So that was something else that I did. Now, I tried to make boxes for them, and I tried to make the boxes out of acetate. And the adhesive I had wasn't very good, so I gave that up as a fail for this year, but I will keep trying, because if you can buy acetate boxes, you have to be able to make them, and I really like making boxes. So that was those. The teacups and saucers all came from the op shop. All of them came from op shops. Tanya, you can get candle wicks at Kmart. You can get candle wicks at any good craft shop will sell candle wicks. Spotlight sells them. Aussie, Wendy, help me here. Aussie Candle Making Supplies, Aussie Candle Supplies, Aussie Candle Making Supplies online will have them. Lots of places you can get candle wicks. Candle wicks are not candle wicks. Not all candle wicks are created equal. I like the ones that have the little doobie in the bottom. I don't know what it's called, but I'm sure it's got a name, that you stick in place before you pour the wax. And these ones, I think this is a Kmart one actually, and it comes with the rest to hold the wick straight so that it sets nice and straight, and you just trim it off once the candle is made. The other thing I did with candles was, because I have quite a lot of candles put away for different things, and they were just plain white because I got a bulk order of them. Thank you, Wendy. Is that what they're called? Stickums. That's interesting. I did these. I took the white church candles that we had and I decorated them. This is one that was on our Christmas table on Sunday. Pretty Christmas one. So they are super easy to do. I did tulips on one. I did beautiful peachy coloured roses on another one. Whatever. Oh, why isn't this working? What am I doing? Sorry, I'm having trouble with this today. Beautiful peachy colours. And then for a younger girl, she's 13, about to turn 14, and I gave her a set of 3, but I had these really cute sort of this lollipop design. So there's 3 different sizes in the lollipop design, and I used a bread and butter plate to hold them. So each of the candles I gave, I put on a saucer that had come from the op shop to present it, just so I had something to sit on. I get citronella from, now a cheat here, I buy citronella candles. You can get really big citronella candles. They're from Bunnings, and they are about $6. $6. I was going to say $5, but I know I paid more than $5. About $6 for these giant sort of no-name generic citronella candles. I used those. I melted them down in my candle pot, melted them down, re-poured them, and one candle did 3 teacups. So they're really big but very inexpensive, and they're just generic, but they work. They sure keep the mozzies away. I'm actually thinking of doing some for our camping group, our 4-wheel drive camping group, but in tin mugs as gifts for them, if I can get the tin mugs cheap enough from somewhere, because those tin mugs are quite expensive. Thank you. The candles do look, I really love them. And they're really simple. So I've got a tutorial on those coming up too, and it will blow your mind at how easy they are. On that note, most of the tutorials will be over on our Home Among the Gum Trees channel, because we started a Home Among the Gum Trees channel to try and get this sort of stuff off cheapskates, because not everyone that comes to cheapskates actually wants to know about crafting. So go figure, but that's, what they say. They're not stickers on the candles. They're not stickers on the candles. If you're after tin buckets, why won't this? If you are after tin buckets, Veronica, if you have somewhere like Cheapest Chips or Silly Sollies or something like that, much cheaper than Kmart. Much, much cheaper than Kmart. I get Hannah to get tin buckets for me from Cheapest Chips in her town, and she brings them down for me. So anyway, most of them will be over on Home Among the Gum Trees, just so I don't clutter up this channel with craft stuff and upset the people that aren't interested in budget crafting. We'll just have our own budget crafting channel over on Home Among the Gum Trees. So as they go up, as the videos and tutorials go up, I'll let you all know. Trust me, I'll let you all know. And you'll be able to watch them. But the candles are so much fun. It will just blow your mind. And I'll put it on Cheapskates Chatter and whatever anyway. So you'll find them. I'll let you know when they go up. Now, what have I done? I'm getting in a muddle here because I've got stuff everywhere. Oh, here we go. I think earlier in the year I may have shown you the jam jar lids that I did, the jam jar covers that I did. These that go over they sit over the jars, and you put a rubber band around them, or if you've got a mason jar, you put it on and then screw the band around it. Sort of just to pretty up a plain jar of jam, really. These are quite pretty, all pretty fabrics. I cut these on the Scan and Cut. You can cut them by hand. By all means, you can cut them by hand if you want to. I cut them on the Scan and Cut because my arthritic fingers don't work too well these days. And if I've got a machine that does it for me, why shouldn't I use it? Because otherwise it's just a waste. Like kitchen appliances we don't use, waste of money and a waste of space. So I use it. So I cut them on the Scan and Cut. They are all, I keep saying they come from scraps, and that makes them sound almost worthless. They haven't come from scraps. I am not a patchworker. I am not a quilter, but I do keep little bits of fabric that are left over from things that I'm making. And if I have a little bit of fabric that's about, roughly 6 inches square, 15 centimeters square, I will turn it into a jam jar cover if I can. Now, these I bundled up in sets of 12. I don't know why I chose 12. I just did. I just chose 12. And I got some coloured hat elastic from Spotlight and cut it into, I measured roughly around the circumference of a mason jar, cut enough for 12, rolled it onto a little spool and put that in a little box. I made a little box to put them in. Next time, I'm going to add some little labels. I didn't think of labels when I was doing it this time, but I'm going to put some labels. So there'll be 12 fabric. These are fabric too, by the way, in case I didn't say that. Fabric covers with a spool of toning or matching hat elastic and 12 little jam labels to go on the front of the jar in a little box. Now I looked up, because So I wasn't sure whether people would actually buy them. Do people buy them? Most people I know can just make them because we're clever. We're not, we're clever and we use our initiative and we save our bits. And so I looked up on Etsy, and people do buy them. There were heaps there. The cheapest is $6.95 for 6, and they went up to around $12 for 10. So I thought that was really interesting. I don't think I would pay that much. I wouldn't pay that much for them, but then I can make them. I know how to do it, and I'm not afraid to do it. Jane uses her AccuQuilt for her jam jar cut. Yeah, why do this when the machine does the job? Exactly. Now, let me see. LMS, Osmad. I love that you keep leftovers for future projects, but how do you organise all of these things? Well, as something's done, this year I've got a list in my book that I haven't got here, but I have a gift book. And my gift book is organised by occasion. So I've got birthdays, then Christmas, Easter, weddings, engagements are the main things. And under each of those headings is a person, and then a budget for their gift. And as I make or get the gift for them, I write what it is next to their name, and I try to wrap it as it's finished. So as each thing was finished, I tried to wrap the gift and label it, and then it just goes in the present box. Now, with the leftovers, organising leftovers, well, same way I organise everything else. I've got in the craft room, if you've ever seen my craft room, behind me on the shelves, on my left, you'll see some paper, and on my right, you'll see some paper. The paper on the left is new paper that hasn't been used yet. The packets haven't been opened, they haven't been touched. On the left is what has to be used up first. You would think after this year that it would be shrinking, but people keep giving me paper, and it's such beautiful paper, I can't say no. So that's pretty much how I do it. And I do the same thing with fabric. Lengths of fabric that are usable for something are folded and put into a box, and the leftovers, I try to trim them up so they're neat, not leave them raggy. And same deal, just fold them and put them into the box. And then I can go through it when I'm looking for something and find them. I haven't heard from her today, Barb. I don't know. Yes, Kylie, I'll post Home Among the Gum Trees for you. There's nothing there yet. Give me a chance. But I will post it for you. And the Home Among the Gum Trees, our blog is up and running, of course. So that's the jam jar covers. And pretty much as I finish sewing something, I look at the piece of fabric and think if it's big enough for a pot holder or a tea towel topper or whatever, then I would put it aside. But if it was only a little bit, I'd look at it and think, would that make a pretty jam jar cover? And if it did, straight away it was cut into a circle and put in the pile. Yeah, so pretty easy for those sorts of things. Okay, next on the list, these lace bobbins. Now I did these up in, can you see? I'm trying to get the light off it. Okay, these. I cut these on the scan and cut two because these are, I'll show you, tied with lace. Now I tied them with a length of lace that is useful. I wanted the gift to be useful, so I cut lengths of lace that would actually be of use for a project to tie them together. And each one has a little pearl pin in the top so that when You do actually wind it with lace. You can put the pin in to hold it onto the bobbin. These are double-sided, front and back, and that's more just to keep them sturdy. And I made them big enough for ribbons and laces. I know you can get smaller ones for stranded cottons and things like that, and I've got gazillions of those. All my stranded cottons are on bobbins. But these ones I wanted to be a bit bigger and a bit sturdier for the lengths of lace, because how often are you at the op shop or someone gives you some lace or ribbon and it just, you've got to wind it up and hope it doesn't get unraveled and tangled somewhere. Put them on bobbins. So I did these up in sets with just whatever, again, using whatever papers I had to make them. Now I've got some more somewhere. I'm pretty sure I've got more somewhere. But that's, now I've lost them. Here we go. But that was those. They went to friends that were sort of, that I know appreciate vintage things and don't mind getting crafty stuff. So that was those. Now these I also used through the year just as a little, hey, I made these and thought you might like them. I was thinking of you as I did them sort of thing. I popped them in an envelope and sent them off. I actually really enjoyed making them, loved making them. And it was a really good way to use up, again, bits of paper that probably weren't big enough for a scrapbook layout or for a card. Perfect size for this. Okay, the inside is just craft card, or some of them were cereal boxes that I cut down. And I did use liquid glue to stick the papers onto the craft card, just so that it sat flat and won't come off. Now, let me see. Heaps of notes. Oh, okay. I think I've shown you these before too. The little seed packets. Now, these were fun to make too, little seed envelopes. Now, with these, I just used garden twine to bind them, and I made just a little tag. Now, this tag is blank deliberately because I haven't used this yet. So it might say happy birthday or thinking of you or thank you or whatever. Again, these were made, can I slip one out? Yes, just from paper that I had, scrapbooking paper, card making paper, just a little envelope. That's the flap that folds over. And they've got on the front, I printed off, oops, just a little label, and it just says seeds. And so you put the seed name, the date, and the instructions. Now, I've given a couple of these away this year, and all I did was make them up into sets of 10 or 12, whatever. This one's really pretty. Look at this paper. Is that not gorgeous? Look at that paper. So, so pretty. Made them up in sets of 10 or 12 and gave them away. But I got some seeds from Diggers Club, the free seeds from Diggers Club. So I slipped those in the parcel with them, just because, you're getting a seed packet, you need to have some seeds to put in it. And if the seeds were free anyway with my Diggers order or my Diggers membership, why not? Now, when you are tying things with string, don't just go straight around. Always go up and down and put it on an angle. It just looks better. It looks so much better. There we go. It looks so much better. And they cost nothing but my time and a little tiny bit of garden twine that I already had anyway. so far, all these things have been made using things that we already had. I either had them in the craft room or out in my shed. Wayne might have had some in his shed, but they haven't cost us any extra outlay from our budget. So they're just really pretty. If you wanted to, I have an idea for putting them in a box with dividers and making it like a little personal seed library. I'm not sure whether I would make the box or look for one at an op shop or something, but I think I'd probably make it so I could make it the exact size. But if I do that, I will let you know. So I really like making boxes. Okay. Where are we? Oh, cards. Lots and lots of cards this year. Lots and lots of cards. I make cards all the time anyway. To me, it's relaxing, and if I can't sleep in the middle of the night, it is an easy craft I can do that doesn't wake the rest of the house up. And of course, I send them to nursing homes, to the 2 nursing homes and a CWA branch. But for gifts this year, I made these little portfolios. Now, this is one I made last card day because I'd given them all away. Can you see? Oh, must be in night time. Light's changing. And I just used paper that I had to make this little portfolio. Just open it up, and in the side are the cards. Now, they are really simple. They are not complicated at all. Just really, really simple. And I just made them using what I had. It's the other one. There should be another one. Have I lost a card? Must have lost a card. Got 4 envelopes and 3 cards. But it will hold 4 cards and 4 envelopes. Now, not my original idea. I got this off a card lady, Karen Titus. Karen, K-A-R-E-N, Titus, T-I-T-U-S. She's a Stampin' Up demonstrator, but she has beautiful card ideas, beautiful card ideas. So, and this one appealed to me because it uses what you have. Now, that's just one sheet of patterned paper, your 12 by 12 paper, and your cards. And you know that for these, I use the Kmart cards. 25 in a pack, $3.50 or something. They're very inexpensive. And for nursing homes and things like that, they are excellent value and certainly save you having to make cards and then buy the envelopes. So they're really, really simple. I'll put the instructions up for our Australian version because she does the American version and her figures are slightly off for our papers. But they're so much fun to make because you can, if you need a quick gift, cards. And to do cards, you need the cards. Kmart, 25, $3.50. You need some sort of stamp. You can buy stamps, inexpensive Kmart, Reject Shop, Spotlight, Lincraft, Target even sells stamps sometimes. Anywhere that sells sort of crafty stuff, you'll get stamps. A black stamp pad. You don't need lots of coloured stamp pads. Black is universally standard. You buy a greeting card, it's printed in black. So black works really well all the time. And then some sort of embellishment. And this one, I used a length of ribbon that came off something. Oh no, this came off a spool of ribbon that was given to me. And 2 little doodads, what are they called? Ephemera, that for decoration. And that was it. Let your paper, for things like this, let your paper do the work for your cards. If you've got pattern paper, I'll show you here. Hello, Lacey dog, talking to me. It's just patterned paper, cut down to size to fit the card. And paper does all the work. You don't need to do anything else. So let the paper do the work for you. That one with the pretty butterflies is just the paper. You don't need to do a lot of tizzying up if you're not confident or if you don't have a lot of supplies. You can still make beautiful cards. And Joy, yeah, postage stamps. I have to tell you a funny story. This afternoon I was looking for a highlighter. So I went to my desk drawer where the highlighters live, and the highlighter was there. I just couldn't get to it, so I couldn't open the drawer away. Like, why won't this drawer open? I was getting very frustrated. Why won't this drawer open? I was trying to get my hand in. There's not a lot of room to get my hand in to wriggle around. Finally, I found something, and I flipped it over and pulled it out, and I'd bought a box of stamps. And, of course, it had flipped out of the little hidey hole that fits in the drawer and wedged itself. And I couldn't get the drawer open. I was really frustrated because all I wanted was one highlighter. So far, everything has come from my stash. I haven't had to buy anything. For Christmas, the fabric stash that's been in my glory box for years and years and years and years has been slightly depleted. I made some shirts as gifts. I like making men's shirts. That's so simple. That's so easy to make men's shirts. It's really easy. Which meant that the fabric disappeared. I used up some buttons out of my button stash, which was good. So I was really happy. The fabric stash is going down. I've used some on the towel toppers. So it's going down slowly but surely. I even made some hankies, and really hankies, they're just hemmed squares, aren't they? A soft cotton, really easy to make. So that was good. Now, what else? I've done those. All right. My scan and cut has had a workout this year. And like I said, why have something if you're not going to use it? And I am still learning how to use it. I love that machine. It took me a while. I was a bit nervous of it at first. It took me a while to get into it. But oh my gosh, I just love it now. Absolutely love it. I love the idea that I could print my towel topper pattern, scan it into the machine, and it just save it, and it just is there for next time I want to cut out a towel topper, because I cut the fabric on it too. I cut the towel toppers on the scan and cut too. So much easier. Now, it has cut lots of signs for me this year. Let me see, where's the sign? Here's one that's got to go to Hannah's house or our house, not sure yet. I think you've seen some of these. Is it straight? No. Oh, gosh. I think, there we go. Lots and lots of signs this year. It's done little ones. So you can see it. It's hard to see. It actually says, welcome to my craft room on a little coaster. It has done ones like this that have been gifted. So it's had a workout with the signs this year. It has also done these. I love these. Look at these. These are so cute. These are bag clips. But I did that one, and that one. Can't see the yellow. And that one. They're just bag clips. And I did snacks and yummy on the bigger clips. And then on the little ones, I've got one pink one that says treats, one that says delish, and one that says chips. And I put these in, I slipped them onto a strip of card that I cut to size, popped them into a cellophane bag, and then I attached them with some baker's twine to one of those multi-pack boxes of chips and cheesels and that sort of thing for a gift. It was very well received. Probably more for the chips and cheesels, but I really love doing them. They are so fun. Now these clips came from IKEA. They were really cheap. Now I've had them, they were sitting in my laundry cupboard. The box of however many was sitting in my laundry cupboard, has been sitting there for years, because they don't get thrown out or break. They just last, you know. So they've been sitting in my laundry cupboard for years, but I know you can get them at IKEA still have them. You can get them at Kmart. You can get them at $2 shops. They are so fun. Just a little thing that doesn't cost a lot. I think the whole thing of clips from IKEA was probably $2, $2.50. And then I just used little scraps of vinyl. And that's permanent vinyl, so it can be hand washed. Can't go in the dishwasher, but it can be hand washed. Not that you probably wouldn't put a bag clip in the dishwasher anyway. It can be hand washed and dried, and it should last for ages on them. So that was another thing that I did. They were a lot of fun to do. I actually had fun doing those because I had to work out what to say on them, what I wanted them to say. And I have another one that I did for me that actually says mine in capital letters, M-I-N-E, mine. Nobody's allowed to touch it. If it's got mine on it, it's mum's. Leave it alone. All right. Okay. The other thing I have done, and I think I've shown you these before too. Little bags. Now this one says I can totally make that. Just a little iron-on transfer. This was a free transfer I found online. I don't buy the SVG files. I don't buy the transfer files. I try to find free ones that I can. And that brings me to this, which I love doing this. This, it says count your blessings. And it's just on an IKEA tea towel. These tea towels are cheap as anything. They still have them, although the price has gone up. Everything's gone up. The price has gone up, but they do still have them. This was a graphic transfer from Graphic Fairy. Free one. I love using Graphic Fairy transfers because she will mirror them so you can do the iron-on. Because when you're using iron-on, you just need to mirror the image, or it's not going to iron on, is it? So these tea towels are really good. So I did quite a few of these this year with different sayings on them and different things on them. Where else am I? Oh, okay. I don't have a pen. This is a stubby holder. Now we're not drinkers of alcohol, but when we go camping, we have cans for our drink, just because they travel better. And it's a running joke between Wayne and I and our friends, other friends. Yes, dear, is a running joke. So I got these stubby holders, and they're made out of the neoprene. Got these stubby holders, and I made yes, dear stubby holders for Wayne and Darren and a couple of other people. because they're fun. Hannah did a whole heap of them for her friends for Christmas. She put their names on them. She has one girl who is always saying, well, what's next? What's next? So on hers, she put what's next, that sort of thing. It was really, they're really easy. Now, this is iron-on vinyl, so it won't come off. It won't peel off. It's iron-on vinyl, so that was fun to do. The other thing is little Zupa-duper holders. What are they called? Icy poles. Super-duper holders. So I did one for each of the kids for Christmas and a couple for other little people that we give just little gifts to. And again, it's iron-on, so it's not going to come off. I had fun with these. We will be putting these and juice box holders in our shop. That's what we're working on. I'm supposed to be having 3 weeks off. I'm having 3 weeks off to work. So there was those. What else? Oh, these. Okay. This little gift box. These little gift boxes. I had fun doing these. These were I did with the scan and cut again, and they and you can put chocolates or toffees or whatever inside, and pop the snowy roof back on and put the ribbon through, and I'll line it up with my wonky eye. What eye for the guy? And put anything in them. I ended up with a couple. We did them. I did some for our card group Christmas celebration, which was really fun. And then I made some for just to go in little hampers, and in them I put, oops, I can't do the bow as well as, it'll do. In those I put little mini shortbreads, and I use little mini cookie cutters, so they're tiny, they're probably 2 centimeters high, 2.5 centimeters high, little stockings, little Christmas trees, a little candy cane. Cut those out, little shortbreads in those, and I put some little hazelnut shortbreads in them. That worked well too. I was going to put chocolates in them, but frankly I didn't feel like making chocolates, and chocolate's expensive to buy. So I made, I think 23 of these I cut. Now, they weren't all red, unfortunately. Some were green, because that's the coloured cardstock I had to use up. Little pieces of leftover glitter card from Hannah's stash. I raided her stash, so I didn't have any of mine. And the ribbons were all different colours too, depending on what I had in my craft room as I was putting them together. So they were fun to do, really, really fun to do. I think that was my sample that I tried to make sure it would work. Okay, I have bought this year, I have had to buy vinyl and HTV, the heat transfer vinyl, because I didn't have any. So I waited till it was on sale at Spotlight and got the basic colours that I thought I would need, and brought it home and tried it. There's a couple of brands that I won't bother with again. I just won't bother with them because they were horrible to use and sort of I wasted more than I actually accomplished with those, which was really sad because that was my money going in the bin. But I can recommend the Oracle 651 vinyl. It is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It's a silhouette product. The Silhouette Cameo is the cutting machine. Well, their vinyl is called Oracle. They do have a HTV that I haven't tried yet, but it's really the I have not had one problem with the Oracle vinyl until chatting with Wendy just before Christmas, and she told me about another supplier of vinyls that she had been to. So they're closed now till after the new year. They don't open again till the 3rd. So once they're open again, I'm going to go and have a good look at their supplies, because it's like a family business as opposed to Spotlight. No offense to Spotlight, but I'd rather support a smaller business. And from what I could see online, their prices are excellent, absolutely brilliant. So when I go there, if the prices are good and if I get samples of their vinyl to try or buy them, but if I buy the vinyls and they work, I will most definitely let you know, because I am more than happy to support a local business. Well, she's not really local to me, she's about an hour away, but that's all right, it's going to work. So I'll be happy to let you know. And that was a tip that came from Wendy. So another thing I do every year is the hampers. I've done these for so many years, so many years. So this year they had strawberry jam and orange marmalade. They had zucchini pickle and bread and butter cucumbers. I put in flavoured coffee beans. If you don't know how to do those, the instructions are on our website over on Cheapskates Club for flavouring coffee beans. And I put in some chocolate spoons that I don't have to show you because I gave them away. But this year, instead of using the plastic spoons, I got some bamboo type spoons to use. And did those, and they worked really well to make the chocolate spoons. So I'm hoping that I will be able to keep using those. I made some cheese twists, just with the puff pastry, and you melt the butter, spread it over, sprinkle some curry powder over the top, then sprinkle some grated cheese over it, and cut it into strips and twist it, and bake it in a hot oven. I actually bake it at about 210 because puff pastry needs a hot oven. Otherwise it doesn't puff. So I do that. They were really good. And the dehydrated orange slices that I did during winter, some I dipped in chocolate, half in chocolate, and some I left plain. And I put those in, as well as a little mini Christmas pudding, a couple of little mini Christmas cakes, because remember I do the Christmas cakes and put them in cupcake papers. So from one Christmas cake recipe, I get 3 dozen little mini Christmas cakes and a couple of royal puddings. And what I did this year, and I may have shown you this before too, Reject Shop on Boxing Day clearance 4-5 years ago had these things of packaging. You've got a round cake board and you've got the bag to put it in, which is fine, except round cake board, square bag. So if you have a bag like this, put your plate in it, or your disc, or whatever it is. Push it right down as far as it will go. Pull out the sides of the bag. Let me push my hand in. Right. Okay. And it looks wonky. So flip it over before you put anything in it. Flip it over. Make sure it's where you want it to be. Fold those pointy bits in. Fold that pointy bit in. tape them down and it will sit flat. Your round will be round. It will sit flat for presentation. Just thought I'd tell you that, and I don't have any sticky tape or I'd show you. So I use these. And what I did was I put mini pudding in the middle, Christmas cakes around the outside, and on top of each Christmas cake I put a little royal pudding, and then scrunched it up, tied it off. I used the little tag that came with it because it matches, and some gold ribbon, and it looked really pretty as part of the hamper. And I actually gave a couple of those just on their own as gifts too. Like I said, these were 25 cents, that cost, the packaging cost. And the cupcakes, you know, the little Christmas cakes, the little pudding, the royal puddings, it would have been well under $8 at the most for that gift. But it looked so much more. And always, they are well received, always. Now, thank you, Mary. Oh, gosh. Cards and gift tags are really expensive to buy. If you can make them, you're going to save yourself an absolute fortune. Alrighty. What was next? I made some soaps, some handmade soaps, one of my favorite things to do. I played around with a normal soap recipe or melt and pour soaps. Melt and pour is okay, but it tends to sweat if you're not careful. It sweats more than a regular soap recipe will. And I also played with, I had some rose petals to put on the top. So in my rose soap molds, I put rose petals in the bottom, then poured the pink soap on top. And they worked really well. And I just paired those with one of these face washes because they were pink. So I did these. Now these came from Kmart, I think. And I just crocheted around the edges. I love doing crocheted edges on face washes and towels. I just make up the pattern as I go. I don't follow a pattern. I just make it up as I go. So there was that, a soap, and I have these face scrubbies. So there were 4 face scrubbies in that pack with the face washer and the soap. And again, I just bundled them up in cellophane, in a cellophane bag. Slipped some cardstock behind it just to give it a bit of body. I had pink ribbon that was gorgeous ribbon. It was like embossed ribbon that I wrapped around them to make the bows. They were easy to do too, and inexpensive. Again, inexpensive. What else? Oh, row readers. They were another handmade gift that went to some friends this year. They all knit or crochet or work cross stitch or embroidery, so I'm hoping they will love them. I use mine all the time. I used ribbons and tapes from my stash to make them, and magnet that we had to make them, so there was no cost for those. Thanks to Jane, we will be putting them in our shop when we reopen after the break. she thinks that we should be selling them. So I'm happy to tell you how to make them, or I'll sell them to you. I don't mind. But row readers, if you don't know how to make them, go to our website, type in row readers in the search. It will come up for you. Very, very simple. Very simple to make, and they are really good. A really good gift, but they're so useful. Make them for yourself. All right. Now, scrunchies. This is the last of them. I had some beautiful silk embroidery cotton that I picked up from an op shop. So I did, and it was in a gorgeous sage green color. So I managed to get 4 scrunchies made out of that. I did some in a beautiful sort of mushroomy grey, pinky, whatever that mushroomy pinky grey color is called, in a pearl thread. They were pretty too. These ones are cotton, and these were by request in this color. So I did heaps and heaps of scrunchies as well. And these are adult size, but I did some kid size ones and some little ones, or toddler size, the tiny ones as well. So scrunchies, and this is sort of project you can keep in your handbag and do in the car while you're waiting, or do in the doctor's surgery while you're waiting, or do on the train while you're waiting. You can do things like this. These are little things. Same with the face scrubbies. They're little projects that can be done. You don't actually need a great deal of time to do them. They're the sort of carry along projects, and I like to have those. When we go away, I always take something with me to do. I've mentioned the graphics fairy. Look, I don't pay for graphics or SVGs for the scan and cut. I always look for free downloads when I can, just because it's not that I don't want to. It's just that I have better ways to use my money. But in saying that, if it was a pattern, a graphic, or an SVG or whatever that I absolutely loved, and it wasn't $25, then I would happily pay for it. It's not that I don't want to, it's just that sometimes I can't see the value in it, and that's a bit mean probably, because I'm discounting the effort that goes into making them because I don't understand it, but I don't mean to. I do appreciate the fact that there are so many free patterns and things out there for us to just use. So all right. Packaging is important. I've tried really hard this year to package things nicely, to make the package part of the gift. Like with the lace bobbins, I made the lace a usable length so it can actually be used for something, not just to hold them together. I tried to put things in boxes, and I made quite a few boxes. Boxes are easy to make, really, really easy to make. I love making boxes. And a simple box can make a dishcloth. I'm surrounded by them, can't find one. Put a dishcloth in a box, and it becomes something special. Put some face scrubbies in the box with a bar of a cleansing bar or a lotion bar, and it becomes something special. And the boxes are easy to make. If you don't know how to make a box, find one and copy it, or look online. There's heaps of tutorials on how to make boxes. They are so simple. One of the easiest ones to do is this little one here. which is, you see, my dove box. I love making these. Little dove bar, pink dove bar. And I've made a little box because who wants to get just a bar of soap? It's a soap, cleansing bar. Seriously? Put it in something and it just looks a little special. It's so much nicer. And they take nothing to make. 5 minutes at the most to make. And again, little pieces of paper, leftover bits of paper from another project to decorate it. Really simple to do. Now, I'm a bit fussy about the dove bars that I use, and I only like the pink ones. And Wendy messaged me. Wendy's featured a lot tonight, hasn't she? Wendy messaged me the other day, and NQR here in Melbourne, or Victoria, I think they're Victoria-wide, has the dove, pink dove, for $4. So that's $1 a bar, which is not, it's not a great sale price, but it's better than paying RRP. So I did stock up because pink's hard to get. I think last time we got some, we split a bulk order, and that would have been 4 years ago. COVID's really messing with my time. All right. Annabelle mentioned gift tags. I made a couple of different types of gift tags this year. I think I did the video on the washi tape tags. They're so much fun to do. And then I just did, like on here, little plain, perfectly plain craft card, cut it to size, made them small, and I tried to actually make them long and narrow if I could. Punched a hole in it, tied it to whatever, and I only stamped the sentiment on the front. So most of them said Merry Christmas, because a great tip that I picked up from YouTube, and I can't remember the channel because it was one I'd never seen before, was if you are putting something in a box, decorate your box front, tie your tag on, and write your to and from on the back. You don't have to worry about trying to jam a whole message onto a little gift tag. Write it on the back. And I thought that is brilliant, because even if the person wants to use the gift box again, a sheet of paper or cardstock over that will hide that message, that greeting, and they've got a perfectly usable box. A lot of the gifts I gave this year were in things that could be used again, and a lot of them that went into gift bags went into plain gift bags, simply because I know the people I gave them to will reuse them. It's not that I didn't want to decorate them, and it's not that I was being mean or lazy or whatever, but I know that the people that got those plain bags will reuse them. And so I'm hoping they'll understand I gave them the plain bag so that they can then decorate it the way they want to. So far, everything, it's been pretty much, I did have to buy vinyl and HTV, which probably came to about $35. Everything else has been in my stash for ages, and I've been using it. I have 2 more to show you. I've started already on next year. This is a little, you see it? I don't know if you can see it. Let me see. I'm trying to. There we go. Whoops. Better. You see it? I've done that one. And I've done one in gold for 2 friends that will hopefully appreciate a Christmas decoration for their birthdays. I'm hoping they'll appreciate a Christmas decoration for their birthdays. So I've started, because this year I'm going to do handmade birthdays. Handmade everything this year. I loved this. I absolutely loved it. And I had a lot of fun. Lining it up, putting it together. Now these little canvases came from there was 4 in a pack. I'm pretty sure they were Kmart, but it might have been Reject Shop. But I've had them sitting in my room, in my craft stash for ages, because I actually wanted to try iron on them and never got around to it. So they've been used for something else. Now, gosh, I think that's it. Oh no, here we go. I channeled my inner Annabelle and I made some double-sided cleaning cloths. So one side's microfiber and this side is flannel. And I found this caravan print. Isn't it just so cute? So cute. So I whipped up heaps of these, well, as much as I could get out of a metre of the caravan fabric, and bundled them up and tied them with a ribbon and sent them off to so I just thought the caravan fabric is so cute. And everything's caravans at the moment. And I don't know whether it's because we're super conscious of caravans and campers, having just got our new camper, or what it is, but I just loved the caravans on it. I thought that was very cute. So I did a heap of those too. Now the microfiber cloths definitely came from Kmart. The fabric, the flannel, was from Spotlight when they had one of their huge sales last year, and I knew I wanted it. I liked it. I didn't know what I would do with it, but I just loved it. So that's what that became. All right, now, oh my gosh, an hour and a half. I'm so sorry. A tangle's the caravan print. Oh gosh. Oh, I hope you've got some ideas, Tanya. I really do. I hope I've been able to help someone with some ideas. I don't want to put you off. It has taken me all year, so start now. Don't wait till November or December to start your handmade Christmas or birthdays or whatever. Start now, even if it's just with making a list of who you give to and setting a budget for each gift. And then think about it, and you'll come across things like, I didn't show you this, like this drink bottle that I just put, I just vinyled it. I vinyled a lot this year, and I just jazzed it up. Now this has been sitting in my box with its partner for 3 years or more. They were on clearance for $1. And I'm always looking for drink bottles, and I actually bought them for Wayne and I to use, but we hadn't quite finished with the ones that we were using. So his is a darker blue and this is mine, but I just vinyled it because it was just to make it less plain and a bit more fun, and so that everyone knows it's for water. Don't put anything else in it but water. It's a water bottle. So there's nothing worse than having a dedicated water bottle and someone put something else in it. So I like water in my water bottles. So that was something else that I did. Oh, your son's going to Canada next year. What can you make for him, please? He will need gloves. He will need scarves. He will need warm beanies. And I know you can buy all those things, but handmade is better, anything like that. And also, if he's going to be traveling around, packing cubes or you can buy packing cubes, but they're rather expensive. Make them. Get an old curtain. You can dye it if he doesn't like white or whatever, and make packing cubes so that he's got one just for his socks, one just for his t-shirts, one just for underwear, one just for shirts or whatever. And so you can do different sizes, and so everything is neat and in the right place. And then do a couple of pillow slips work really well for this, but choose darker colors and make a casing in the top and put drawstrings through them, and they can be for his dirty clothes. So he keeps dirty clothes separate from clean clothes, and his suitcase or his backpack or his duffel is always going to be organized. The number of people who don't keep their, when they're traveling, who don't have their stuff organized amazes me. We go away, whether we go for a weekend or we go for 8 weeks, we take one shopping bag of clothes. That's all we take with us. And people go, we could do carry-on to travel, whether we're traveling for a weekend or 8 weeks. Really, really good. Things like that. Think about things like that that will help him. Maureen wants to know how I went at the Boxing Day sales. Well, I might have to turn that into another video because we're getting a bit late. But honestly, I spent the grand total of $54, and it was on fabric. Most of it was on fabric, simply because there was nothing I particularly wanted anywhere, as in Christmas stuff or whatever. There was nothing I needed, and so it was just pretty much, I was thinking ahead to what I could do for Christmas 2023, birthdays 2023, replacing things that we need around the house, like pot holders to keep AJ happy, that sort of thing. So I bought, in Coles, I spent $1.25 and bought a biscuit cookie cutter thing. In Kmart, I spent $24. Did I get in Kmart? I don't think I actually got anything on clearance. Pretty sure I didn't get anything on clearance because I was looking for t-shirts for me because I'm running out of t-shirts. We looked at TK Maxx, we looked at Target, we looked at whatever, but there wasn't anything I really wanted. So we trotted off to Spotlight. What did amaze me was there was no one around. There was no one around. We left our local big shopping centre at 9:20 yesterday morning, and there was still hundreds of parking places, and that centre opened at 8 o'clock. So Spotlight was the same. I've never seen Spotlight so empty. And in fact, when I chose the fabrics I wanted, I walked straight up to the counter and got served straight away. And I don't think that's ever happened to me in my life in Spotlight. So I don't think Boxing Day sales, they weren't absolutely, I don't think people were as excited. I know that there's been a lot of media hype about, Australians are going to spend so many billions of dollars on Boxing Day sales and yada, yada, yada. And I think, again, it's a case of, if they say it, we will do it, in the hopes that we will do it. But a lot of people aren't. They're just not. They don't have the money, or they know they're not going to have the money when they need it for back to school or whatever. So they're just not. And, fair enough. If they're smart enough and wise enough to understand that they can't waste their money on stuff that they don't need, then well done to them. Well done to them. Have fun tomorrow, Wendy. I've got cleaning to do in the morning, and I'll get up early and do it because it's going to be really hot again. Got a 42 here today. It's just awful. And we've got Lacey dog, so I won't spend too much time outside. And then I might get into the craft room. Who knows? But I have started for this year. I'll keep you updated as we go. If you want to join in, we'll be doing regular handmade Christmas videos to see what we're all up to. But anyway, I think I better go. Anyway, thank you so much for sticking with me for over an hour and a half. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. If you liked our show, thumbs up. Please give us a thumbs up. That would be really appreciated. It helps our channel with YouTube do whatever it is that YouTube does. That's really important. It helps our channel grow. And when we grow, we're easier to find. And of course, the easier it is for us to be found, the easier it is for people to find out that they can live life debt-free, cashed up and laughing if they really want to. And we can show them how, because we're all working towards that very thing if we're not already there. Okay, have a really great week, everyone. Enjoy your new year. Stay safe if you're traveling. Safe travels. And we'll be back to our regular scheduling next Tuesday. I'll see you then. Okay. Bye.